Well, you look the part, but let's see some of your moves.
Feeling like a star, you can't stop my shine. I'm loving Cloud City, my head's in the sky. I'm solo, I'm hunting solo, I'm hunting solo, I'm hunting solo, solo. Yeah, I'm feeling good tonight, finally feeling free and it feels so right. Oh, time to do the things I like. Gonna see a princess, everything's alright. Oh, no job but an answer to, ain't a fixture in the palace zoo. No, and since the carbon nights off me, I'm living life now that I'm free, yeah. Told me get myself together, now I got myself together. Now I made it through the weather, better days are gonna get better. I'm so happy, the carbon night is gone. I'm moving on, I'm so happy that it's over now. The pain is gone. I'm putting on my shades to cover up my eyes. I'm jumping in my ride, I'm heading.
All right, we're here. I remembered to hit the buttons, so it's not like we're a newbie here.
You hit all the buttons. You made us live, everything.
I know I made us live, so we're. I didn't forget live. I didn't forget the music, all that good stuff. So I figure we'll get the hellos in. This is our Hondo episode, picked by random, and then we'll see how it goes. I have the CRLs pulled up for my end of it. But yeah, welcome everybody. I'm Mike from I don't know. I guess I'm just mainly from the Best Car Bucket now. I mean, not Best Car Bucket, former panelist of the Best Car Bucket, but I'm I guess I'm just from this podcast. So welcome everybody. You guys want to introduce yourself in case we have a new listener or two?
Ken?
All right. So I'm Ken, one of the hosts here on the Inflatable Falcon. I'm also on a couple other shows, namely the Rambling Star Wars Fan and the Forces Behind Star Wars, and also an occasional guest on the Best Car Bucket.
Wow, all this talk about the Best Car Bucket, I guess I should introduce myself, right? I'm John. I am the host of the Best Car Bucket, unlike these two gentlemen here who have claimed to be. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. That's all I really do.
Well,
The
super TikTok famous.
world-renowned Best Car Bucket from International Panel London Celebration.
That's true. That is very true. World renowned.
Yes, or at least Europe. I mean, so
Is the world really any bigger than Europe in the United States?
Presented from two continents.
yeah, multi-continental traveler and host.
International Playboy and
Yes, he was like James Bond. He was like James Bond in London. I saw him throwing his moves. He was very James Bondish.
Daniel Craig, James Bond. Let's not Sean Connery.
Well, I don't know. I don't think Sean Connery would hold up to today's.
No.
Oh, in many ways, probably not.
Yeah, he would be. It would not. He might not even be the hero.
If you've ever seen his costume in Zardoz, you've got a feast for the eyes.
Oh, that's man! I can't believe that. I looked on Facebook, and Facebook is auto titling our thing because I have the volume turned down. So, which is pretty funny. So if I can't hear what you're saying, I can just look up, and a second later it'll. Yeah. So, did anyone have any troop time while we're?
I didn't have troop time, but I was lucky enough to get to go up to Pennsylvania and spend some time with the Maviola clan from the Mandalorian Mercs. And it was probably one of the largest armor parties that I've been to in a while. And there were folks working on post-imperial kits, some modern armor. A gentleman was working on a life-size, probably 6'2", 6'6" HK droid. it was very, very cool, and just to
Did
see
they have a
everybody.
slushy machine?
Pardon?
Did they have a slushy machine?
They didn't. However, they did have key lime pie.
A what?
Key lime pie.
Well, okay.
Ooh.
Well,
So
potato, I guess.
yeah, but
Um,
it was fun just being around folks who were actively making things and asking for input and giving input. It was nice, and the weather was fantastic for it.
oh, that's nice. Yeah, this weekend was beautiful. I got my garage cleaned out. I got stuff projects, just little, not anything done, but work done. So that's cool. John, did you troop at all?
I did not troop. I I've got 1 2-day troop this weekend. So yeah, we're doing the Brickfest live from Cleveland.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, I'll be there Saturday, Sunday.
I've done a couple Brickfest. They're fun.
Are they?
We did one at
Yeah.
Oaks, PA one time. Marty and I were TKs, and no one knew we were there. We were back in the corner, and Marty was running around on his hoverboard in his TK. And so we went and we were like Pied Piper and people back to the table. So
Nice.
Yeah, and this coming weekend we have Fan Expo in Philadelphia.
yes.
So I'll be there Thursday to set up, then Friday and Saturday all day, and I may or may not go up on Sunday. We'll see.
Now Saturday, you have a panel.
Yes, sir.
It's me. So I forgot I even signed up for that panel, and I signed up for me and you guys, and then I didn't find out till 2 weeks ago. Like if they would have told me whenever. So it's a panel about positivity and fandom using its Rage family, all that stuff. It'll be me, Ken, Zoe, and Safi. Of all, Safi agreed to be on the table, so
Yeah, that's gonna be fun. Are they
Yeah.
gonna? Are you guys gonna troop at all? Or
I am probably not going to troop now. I didn't. I don't know. I should probably bleep this out. But they've made signing up for trooping at events like this so convoluted. It feels like work. Like they have a spreadsheet, and you sign up where you're going to be. And I understand it to a point, but in the olden days, we signed up and you had people all over the place. It just, when I looked at that spreadsheet, I was like, oh man, you know what? I'm going to have to pass on this one.
Gotcha.
So, but yeah, I'll be there. I'll probably be there most of the day Saturday because Keith and Kerwin are doing a panel at 3. So
okay.
I'm going to go see them. Not that they need any of us to see them. They're doing quite well without any of but they're such wonderful people. Yeah, so we're having a panel, and then what I'll do is get the audio and video, and I will send it to all of us to use in our feeds as we see fit. I'll probably put it up on here too. I'll probably use the whatever you call it. Like I can load it up on a random time on Restream and just stream it on a Thursday night or something. Just freak people out.
Nice. If you don't mind, I may end up sneaking into the father and son Galaxy panel with you. Maybe Heather will come along with us.
Yeah, no, that'd be great. Yeah, I'm gonna, and then what I'll do is we'll have a slideshow running behind us with all of our social stuff, and I have so many pictures. I still need pictures. I have some pictures of us, but I need pictures from the Best Guard bucket. I need a high res. The one I have is low res or something. I don't know. But I want to have all our social contacts on there, and it'll just loop while we're talking.
Okay.
And then depending on how, I'm going to go pick my tickets up Friday night, mainly because at 10:45, I don't want to get there at 9 and there be some ungodly line at the pickup time on Saturday in Philadelphia, and I go get my panel time. So I'm driving right after work to go pick up my tickets, and then we'll have I'll have a video recording and audio, and then we'll probably I imagine we'll all just stick our phones up and record and stuff like that.
And you said Missy's coming too, right?
Missy's coming too, yeah. So
nice. Heather will get to meet her and the rest of the girls.
yeah. So yeah, it'd be fun. It'll, so I'm excited. I mean, I hope that I'm entertaining enough. I don't know how many people are coming. I don't know what that entails. I was trying to get a helmet done. I got one helmet cut, but unless I get some miraculous the time stops and I get time to paint it tomorrow, because I was just going to do a generic clone and do a giveaway for the people that show up. We'll see. We'll see how my painting ability goes tomorrow.
Well, lots of folks give away kits. I mean, I think I've heard the Dad Batch doing that kind of stuff
Oh
too.
yeah. Maybe I could do that. Maybe I'll give a clone armor kit away. No, just kidding, John.
The pain I would feel.
I had it on this weekend, but I couldn't get to my phone. And when I had it on, I was like, "Oh crap! I left my pants on, and my phone is in my pocket." Because I was going to
Oops.
So then by the time I was like, screw it! I'm not taking any. I'm just
So
going to take.
nobody else in the
right
house
the
has a
floor.
camera.
Huh?
Nobody else in the house has a camera.
Yeah. Well, I always have these dreams of like, hey, I should just put one of my other cameras on like a just film while I'm working in the garage and then pull the video, and I never do it. So it's always you're thinking about that when you're covered with dust and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, that's we're kind of getting into our projects here. What's our? I got to delete all of these menus, but here I'm gonna just put the good one up. Unifying fandom. But E-Girl said hi, and yeah, so the school year's waning down. I have like a week and a half yet, and my students checked out about a week ago, so I'm just trying to not lose the rest of my hair.
Yeah, Derek will be graduating this year. He's pretty
Oh,
excited.
cool! That's a whole new
A whole new
world.
world.
It's that nice world when you don't have to worry about the little stuff. Like you always worry about the big stuff, but you're like, well, wait a minute, they can feed themselves. It does. I don't have to buy 4 meals when we go out to eat. Did eating out just get cheaper? That was so. But yeah, no. So yeah, I saw Justin, our CO, the other day. He stopped by. He lost a piece for his Sabine helmet, so I made him a piece. I molded him a piece for his Sabine helmet. So.
He'll be up there this weekend.
Yeah, he'll be up there. Yeah, I can't wait to see the layout of Fan Expo and stuff. So I just again,
All 4 groups are working together this year.
well, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's really. You mean it's not going to be
Well, let's just say that they've put energy into planning things together, and
nice. Are the droid builders there?
I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
I know it's Rebel Legion, 501st, Mando Mercs, and the Galactic Academy.
Oh yeah.
So those are the 4 that I know of.
Yeah, the Galactic Academy. That's the people that have taken over that are really doing a decent job. I mean, it's a hard line to walk because maybe because I have to do all the real rules when it involves working with children and stuff, and so that a Galactic Academy, you got to be real careful with how you run those things. But that's cool. Yeah, my nephew, who is 3, I made him a Boba Fett helmet, 3D printed one his scale when he was 2, and Missy's niece was like, he doesn't take it off. Like they go to the store, he has to take it with him.
Of course.
Of him.
He's
So
our
I
kind of
told him about
kid.
the Galactic Academy. I said, you should just take a picture of him with that helmet on when you're somewhere and send it into the Galactic Academy. I said, get him a number. Because it's up to number 10,000 now. It's almost 10,000.
Wow.
My girls are 98 and 99.
Couldn't he just waited one more person?
Or couldn't they have gotten in sooner? They could have been 66.
They could have. We didn't know about it. They were in for I got them in like probably almost 2 years after they were costuming. If I would have known about it, I would have got them a number. So yeah, they're DZ 0098 and 0099. So, but So let's see. Anything else to cover before? Oh,
Should,
one other thing.
should we print out a picture of John's head and put it on a stick so we can have it with us at Fan Expo?
That's true. That's true. I was thinking like, oh, could we do a live, And then I remembered when we tried that with Lizzie at Celebration, and that turned into a lot of. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Well, it does.
so it's like last week.
It doesn't turn out as well as you think it would.
I would be, if it was a possibility, I would be down if I wasn't already drooping.
No, I understand. I didn't find out. Like it just was out of the blue. So I
Send us a high-res picture of your head, John, and we'll put it on a stick.
Like I got some pictures. We'll have you looped in, with the best guard bucket and stuff like that. And the I'm gonna bring my TK bucket, I think, and so we can set our buckets in front of us when we're talking. I don't, just for. I think Zoe's going in costume. Sappy's going. She's actually going to the con with her friends, so she'll be in Fallout costume. So,
Okay.
but I'll bring 000's head. I got to think of how I can carry all this stuff because I got to bring all the electronics so I can get through security and all that without a big mess. So, but oh yeah, and it's Star Wars week on Wheel of Fortune, which two things surprised me. First off, I didn't know they had a Star Wars week. Secondly, I didn't know Wheel of Fortune was still on. So
yeah, they're a couple weeks late, than everyone else, but hey, they're doing a Star Wars week.
Yeah, because Sal was in the promo.
What?
Sal was in the promo, teaching them how to use lightsabers. Hang on, let me see if I can get this working.
John, I think you're cool, but I don't think our level of coolness is that high yet.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Trying. Well, I had some students show me because my students are like, they half joke like, oh, you think you know all these Star Wars people, and then one kid showed me. I was like, yeah, I know that guy, and they were like, what? Hang on. Come on, old Mac. I don't think it's gonna work. There it is. Here we go. Let's see. Ready?
Oh my God, that is Sal.
He almost hit Vanna.
There you
That's
go.
pretty funny.
Yeah, we need to be on Wheel of Fortune level by the end of next year.
Contestants a while ago. Like there was a feed of taking contestants for Wheel of Fortune Star Wars. I didn't know this is what it was. This was probably around December. There was a thing going around Facebook, and people were sending me, and I just thought it was bogus. I was like, someone's going to get all my information, and then I'm just going to get 50 emails.
Right.
Sign you up for a timeshare.
Now, Rural Farm Boy did remind me to load this up on iTunes. I am just having so much problems right now with Anchor. I don't know if you guys have had it.
I haven't even looked at Anchor since Celebration.
Yeah, it's been a couple of months since I've posted anything. I am slacking. And E-Girls is also surprised that Wheel of Fortune is still on.
Yeah, I was just... hey, Ark's on there too. Yeah, I was still surprised it was on. So, but anyway, we are 20 minutes into our trying to keep it under an hour show. And if you noticed last week's show, when I went to post it up, I think it's 59 minutes, 58 seconds.
Look at us go.
So,
because you're getting really good at kicking us out.
Well, I'm just, I'm trying to think of the listeners or the watchers. or the whatever they are.
Voyeurs?
Huh?
What?
Or at least our people that we live with that we're not up late crazy. See, my dream is to eventually have wait a minute, I assume you noticed the Wheel of Fortune Galaxy thing.
That's a talk of the night.
Yeah, we were just talking about that where Sal was on it. So anyway, yeah, Zoe was just on Rogue Rebels. So if you the book that has to do with the new video game,
Jedi Survivor?
Jedi Survivor. Yes. Jedi Survivor, her and Sal were talking about that. So if you like those things, check it out. So that's my podcast talk. But we're talking about Hondo tonight. That's our topic. So it gives us the bulk of the show for Hondo. So Ken, being the East Coast book of Star Wars knowledge, give us the rundown of who Hondo is in the Star Wars universe.
Well, do you want to know about Hondo himself, or do you want to know about the voice actor who plays Hondo? Because those aren't necessarily the same thing.
Well, I would give us the brief, because imagine if people haven't watched the animated. So give us a brief rundown of Hondo, and then give us the voice actor.
Sure. Well, Hondo Anaka is actually a Weequay pirate who showed up in the animated shows Star Wars Clone Wars and Star Wars Rebels. Also, he's made a real life debut in Galaxy's Edge, both in California and Florida, as one of the most. It's probably, I think, the second most advanced animatronic in Disney World. So there's a full scale Hondo Anaka animatronic puppet that is there at Black Spire Outpost on Smuggler's Run, one of the newer attractions in Star Wars. So that's the very, 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 very quick description of him. And he was one of those characters that, in my opinion, was surprising how popular he became, considering how sketchy he was.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So he, like I said, he was a pirate. He was a colleague of Jango Fett. He actually dated Aura Singh for a while. Captured Count Dooku, captured Obi-Wan Kenobi and Anakin,
At the
captured
same
a whole
time.
bunch of at the same time, captured a whole bunch of younglings, tortured people, and this was all in an animated kids show.
Yes.
And now he's in Batu and very, very, very popular with the kiddos.
And he had some of the best lines in Clone Wars.
Oh goodness, yeah.
Like, what did they call? He get called one time, and he said, "I don't even know what that word is," or something like that.
We're pirates. We don't know what that means. That is my favorite line of Hondo's. That or I could tell you so many stories. Many of them are true.
Yes, I mean, because I was looking at my research for Hondo, and mine went into the costuming, and so I looked, and if you want to look up Hondo in the 501st, I just looked at the 501st. I didn't look at the others, but he's a DZ. So if you do a Hondo costume, you get a DZ designation.
And what's DZ mean for the folks in the audience?
The Empire, usually, I believe it's what it is. And now the one they have is Clone Wars Season 5. So it's when he has, he has the goggles and he's not as the Rebels when he looks a little slimmer the Rebels look a little slimmer anyway, but the costume itself, it is a complex costume. Like I did not think it was as complex. Like just the coat.
Yeah, the coat is. I don't even want to know what that would cost.
It makes me just looking at the coat makes me want to make the coat. Like makes me want to do the. I mean, I'm still on my no new projects thing, but
yeah, Mike. The second you start a new project, the second I'm going to start hounding you for that clone armor. Sorry.
So, but that's his coat. Like that's like Liberace,
And that's
quality.
only one of them.
Huh?
That's only one of them.
Yeah. Well, that's the This is the this is This is for this Hondo right here, and then he has that coat. He has the shirt with the weird. It looks like someone took one of those bed sheets or those bed mattresses from camp and made a thing from it. And then the pants are not. I like his belt though. Look at this buckle.
Yeah, that's insignias on a bunch of things in the episodes that he's in.
Then he got pirate boots and a weak, look at that. I mean, that's just the hands. Like, look.
So many rings, so gaudy.
It's from all the booty he's
All the
stolen
booty.
over
Yeah.
the years.
Well, I wonder if space pirates are like real pirates, where you're supposed to have enough gold on you to bury yourself.
Well, if he's anything like the Pirate King Gorian Shard.
Yeah. So yeah, that's my CRL for them. I mean, the mask itself, it looks like a straight up Weequay mask.
But it has the long braids, the two long braids.
Yeah, it has two long braids. I should have pulled that picture up too, but it has two long braids, but the rest is a Weequay mask. And I've seen a couple Hondos. I have a couple pictures of ones from Celebration. But the mask characters like that are tough because if you're not careful with the size of mask you get, you can become like a bobblehead.
Right.
I've seen that happen with Cad Bane, where guys, they go for comfort over accuracy, and their masks become they look like, what's that guy, Mastermind, the big blue guy?
Oh, Megamind.
Megamind.
They look like Megamind. But yeah, I was looking at our non-sponsored book of Fan Home, and we have this nice, beautiful write-up on Hondo. So,
what are some of the things that they say in there about him?
well, it says Hondo was born on the planet. Oh man, this is SRILUUR.
Sure.
Whose swindler parents who sold him into slavery in what they claimed was a tribute to the Weequay god Quay. So he was, when he got older, he believes his parents had sold him simply because they were poor and needed money. So, that's pretty cool. And then he had his gang. It talks about a group of pirates. It shows him with his little monkey lizard, the orange monkey lizard. And then the next, it says his men encountered separatist leader Dooku. So it talks about the Jedi capture.
And that was in 2009 when that episode came out.
Yeah.
That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
Bless you.
Excuse me. It's okay. Thanks.
Yeah, and then it shows him when he was captured, when he was held in the cell, same cell that held Dooku. Shows him rescuing that the one Padawan. I forget her name. From Grievous. He was an expert swoop pilot, and then it talks about him in Rebels. In Rebels, he's not wearing his coat. He's just in a, which I think that's more. I sometimes think Rebels is only different mainly due to the animation style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they used more of a Ralph McQuarrie inspired animation style.
Yeah.
Unlike the hyper marionettation or marionette, they wanted it to look like marionettes in the original Clone Wars.
Then it talks about him meeting up with the rebels and his nice crew of weirdos. Because remember, he has a pig man with a helmet, an
Ugnaught.
Ugnaught. And then there's the sword of something or another. Ancient relic sword of Khashyn. I don't know.
Of course.
I don't know. And he helped elude the first order's block. Oh, so this must be this. He says it helped elude the first blockade after stealing a relic. They didn't suspect Hondo was in league with Dork Undor. I don't know.
Doc
Doc
Ondar.
Ondor.
Doc, who's that?
He's the guy from Galaxy's Edge, not
Oh,
Dork.
Doc. Oh,
His,
okay. I never
his
saw
Den
it.
of Antiquities.
I've only heard people say it. I was thinking DOC, like a doctor.
Yeah. You just called him Dork.
I don't know, dude. I was a silent reader, man. I stuttered when I was a kid. Anytime I have to read words, it is not good. So, oh yeah. So that talks about that's the whole thing.
Well, do you know where he got his name from? In the behind the scenes stuff?
No, where'd he get his name?
So it was a combination of Japanese film director Ishiro Honda and the Japanese actor Seiji Onaka. Both of them were from the Godzilla franchise. George
that's
Lucas,
cool.
as we all know, was inspired by lots of different things.
Right. And Dave Filoni's a big Godzilla guy.
Yep, absolutely.
So.
And he was voiced by Jim Cummings. And Jim Cummings has done things since the 80s. Winnie the Pooh and Tigger. He's probably been in like 300 or more different animated kind of things beyond just Star Wars, Clone Wars, and Rebels.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know anything about that part.
Yeah, so Jim Cummings has a long history of doing voice work. Even things like Transformers and stuff like that.
Oh, Transformers too. Oh, that's cool. Now, did well, see, because I was wondering if Hondo's name came from Hondo, the television show. I mean, the movie from the 50s. I think it was a John Wayne movie.
No, I don't think so.
No, I'm sure it
Yeah.
isn't, because I didn't know about all the other stuff. So, that's cool. I mean, that's super cool. I'm trying to think. Yeah, so I don't, are either of you in any interest in doing a Hondo costume?
I would if I I think it would be a fun character to play and to be. However, the mask is my biggest hang up.
Yeah. Yeah, that
because I don't think you could do prosthetics.
Well, I've seen guys take the mask and cut it, and then they, glue it to their face with no seam and glue, you know what I mean? And I think that's probably a way to go if you're going to wear it for any amount of time.
Yeah.
Though that if they make a mask like the guy that did the Emperor at your panel, John, like that mask was pretty spot on if you would have weathered it, because he just slipped in his I think it slipped in his bottom lip, and then the whole thing worked. Like it looked like skin.
See, he's one of those characters. I think if you're gonna play him, you have to play him.
Yeah,
you have to have the like a Jack Sparrow. You have to have the mannerisms and the accent and the flourishes. I mean, he's one of those dynamic characters that can't just be looked at. He has to be appreciated in all his glory.
Well, that brings me to the next question, because you know my answer to this, but if they bring him to live action, who would you want to see playing?
Johnny Depp. Come on. There's no one else.
Well, no, but now I think I found my second place choice. Who's your choice, Ken? Who would you have playing?
Yeah, I'd have to think about it a little bit more.
So, have you guys watched Succession?
No.
Okay, so me and Missy just started watching it, and it's Macaulay Culkin's brother plays one of the brothers. He would be my second choice because of his mannerisms and the way he speaks. I don't think he'd be as good as Johnny Depp, but I think he would give it a different take than Johnny Depp.
I mean, honestly, I think Johnny Depp would I think he would just be the best fit because Hondo is already essentially space Jack Sparrow.
Yes, yes.
So I mean,
See, I think Hondo is beyond Space Jack Sparrow because I think, Jack Sparrow is still good at heart, where Hondo has done some really, really, really sketchy things.
Hondo's good at heart too, as long as it helps
Well,
him.
well, he has become gooder at heart, but I mean, he was legit torturing Anakin and Obi-Wan and drugged them, and so I mean, I don't think.
No,
Yeah, absolutely.
they came armed. He told them to come unarmed, and they didn't listen. I mean, look, it's all how you look at it.
He spiked their drinks.
Well, it is a good lesson in, um, like, is it called relativism? Where, if you look where someone comes from, like we look at our moral plateau from all of our life experiences. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like, depending on how you're raised. I mean, there's definite rights and wrongs, but then all those gray areas, and if you were a child who was sold by their parents just because into slavery because they needed money, but lied to you and said it was for your moral basement is pretty low. You know, I mean, it's he. You know what he reminded me of a little bit was there was that small stint in the late 80s and early 90s in television shows, and there was the same thing probably I think in the 50s where they did the same thing where they stereotype certain groups of people, but they made them like wise and had a code of justice. So in the 80s, it was like drug dealers. Like you would watch a TV show and there was like a drug dealer that helped them out. Like you know what I mean? But they had a code like, oh, I only kill other deadly, you know what I mean? Am I making
No,
sense?
you're making perfect sense.
And they did the same thing with Native Americans. Like Native Americans were made to be almost like these fake facade, but wise with, you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
Well,
So,
I just think with him, going back to the Jack Sparrow comparison. Um, I don't know if Jack Sparrow did as mean a stuff as Hondo did, but then again, I don't know all the things that he did as a pirate, and I think the character of pirate is just a wonderful one in Star Wars, and it has played and shown up again and again and again, and even if they are not actually pirates. So, for instance, DJ is a wonderful comparison
right.
from the Last Jedi, or even you could say Han Solo and Lando Calrissian were also those people who, depending on the angle, on one hand
Right.
they could be seen as the good guys, on the other end they could be seen as the selfish bad guys.
Well, and the pirate name in Star Wars means a lot of different things because Lando calls Han a pirate,
Yep.
you know, and I don't picture Han was more of a smuggler. I think because do you remember the game Wing Commander?
Yes.
So there was Wing Commander like 1 and 2 before it went like super, when it was just like 16-bit. You remember those games?
Yep.
I think Mark Hamill
did some voice acting for that, I thought.
Yeah. But in between 2 and 3 was when they went to a more like cinematic type one. There was a game called, I think it was called Privateer. And it was Wing Commander, but you were in a spaceship. And it was if you would have just changed a couple things, you would have thought you were playing a Star Wars game. Because you were like a smuggler in a ship, and that's what I always think of, like the pirates. I think that's how we got Firefly. The show Firefly, which was that was like one season, I think.
One season and then a movie.
And a movie, yeah. And depending on who you talk to, whatever they saw first, the movie sucks or the movie's really good. So
the other thing I thought was great about not just Hondo himself, but his whole group. I mean, they built out his gang. His pirate gang was quite impressive. Down to their different costumes and I mean, he had a spaceship that was like the old sci-fi spaceships, the disc spaceship.
Yeah.
and he rode swoop bikes and liked to be entertained, and even from the CRLs where he showed that he had many rings on. I mean, the all of the pirate costumes were pretty flamboyant, and they had very cool rifles and blasters and stuff.
And
So
they had that. You could, if you looked at if they put a group of pirates there, and you looked at them, you knew they were pirates. Like, I think even before they told you Hondo was a pirate, you would think he kind of looks like a pirate. You know what I mean? Because they were all
the
like, and
puffy shirts
he had a monkey lizard.
Yep.
So yeah, that's. I mean, that's the and Hondo, like you said, is one of those characters you would never expect to the people to fall in love with.
Yep. To the point that they built an entire attraction around him and
Yeah.
that kind of smuggling kind of character at a family theme park.
Yeah.
I mean, even he has an R5 droid um, that I have, and it's even painted where it has like triangles on the bottom
Oh
part of
yeah,
the
yeah,
dome
yeah, yeah.
to look like jawbones and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I think I have it up on the shelf.
Yeah, I have him from, I think, the Disney store. I bought a pack of like 4. I think it came in a pack of like 4 droids or something like that. Yeah, that's I mean, Hondo is again one of those ones.
And picking his species as Weequay was also brilliant, because when I think of pirates, I think of folks that are, sunburnt and they've been out in the elements for a long time, so they're all beat up and wrinkly and
Yep.
things like that. And so when you look at the Weequay, their whole entire species looks like they have been in the sun for far too long.
And our introduction to the Weequay in Jedi was that they were in with the crime lord.
Yep.
So it kind of added to that.
Well, I thought part of Hondo's backstory was he worked for one of the huts on Bunta or something like that.
Probably there. I mean, there's like another page. They keep going on and on, but yeah, that's yeah, that was a good choice for Hondo. But yeah, I wish I would like to have like inspirational quotes by Hondo. That would just be a nice set of posters. And I think he's also one of those things. He's one of those bellwether or whatever people you can say, and then you can find out, like, if you say Hondo Inaka, then and someone knows who it is, then I'm like, okay, this person probably I can have some good Star Wars conversations with. Like when I was younger, it was Grand Moff Tarkin. When the first movie came out, it was Grand Moff Tarkin, and then your second layer was all the creatures from the cantina that were named by Kenner.
Snaggletooth.
Yeah, before they had names, they were just descriptions.
Yeah, they were, but yeah, that's Hondo's a good guy.
And that word we were all looking for earlier was insolence.
Insolence. Yeah, that's right.
Insolence. We're pirates. We don't even know what that means.
You got some Hondo quotes for us?
Yeah, just that there was that one, and then there was the one where he was talking to Castro about Aura Singh, and this is another example of that. I was surprised that they fit into a kids show where Hondo. So Aura Singh, Boba Fett, and Castro met up with Hondo and his group, and Hondo said to Castro, one of the other bounty hunters, "Couldn't handle her, could you? Well, don't be ashamed. You're not the first man to bail out from under her command." It's kind of racy for a kids show.
Oh yeah.
And then he ended up smooching her on screen.
Well, didn't she was pushed? Remember, it wasn't the push that killed her.
Yeah, it was the fall.
The fall.
Yeah.
Or the landing, or something along those lines.
Yeah.
And his history has spanned a couple eras, because he
Clone Wars
and into Rebels,
and That too.
Yeah, so he's in the new stuff.
Yeah.
So I wonder how long Weequay can live.
Well, I also wonder how long until we see him live action.
Hey, Ahsoka's right around the corner.
Yeah. I think they just released somewhat related to that what we saw at Celebration.
Oh,
Oh,
really?
did they?
I think because someone posted up like new teaser trailer, and I watched. I was like, I think I already saw that. I think it's what we saw at Celebration.
I'll have to check that out.
So,
Yeah, I need some reference pictures for Thrawn.
it has his back. Remember when he was walking his back?
Yeah, remember we got to see his face though.
Yep. Oh, I know.
This is all I need because I can guess pretty much everything else.
Yeah. I think if I did Thrawn, I would just do a blue filter and just walk with some kind of device that people could just look at me through that. I'm not doing blue makeup.
You
Oh,
could do.
but it
You should do Papa Noida instead.
Who?
That's the cameo that George Lucas had at the opera.
Oh,
He was
yeah,
also painted
no.
blue.
I'm trying to keep closed eyes and not do anything. I'm doing nothing, but I'm just doing nothing. So trying to get my projects done. Though that pirate gun, now that I looked at that pirate gun, I was like, I should look that up and print that thing.
With the blaster or the rifle?
The plaster. I like the belt buckle too.
And that logo that logo that's on his belt buckle is also the same logo that's
Yeah.
on the front of his helmet.
Yeah.
And his helmet looks like a
tortoiseshell.
no, what's the one where it has the tail? Horseshoe crab.
Oh, horseshoe. Oh, yeah.
Because when you look at it from the back, there's actually a small tail that goes down his neck a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks more like the
Yeah,
shells of a
right.
horseshoe crab than a turtle.
Yeah, I'm looking at that. I'm just looking at that costume and I'm thinking, man, the jacket would cost you more than probably a whole suit of TK armor.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't think there's any way you're getting out of doing that costume for less than probably $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah, unless you know how to sew.
That's true. Which I don't think any of us do.
No,
Not
you're
well.
right. But the blaster's kind of cool too, because the blaster reminds me of it looks like they took an E11 and the droid's gun and kind of took parts from each and made a super basic gun. So
Yeah, no, I see it.
He also
Because
carried the electro
back
staff that
looks
the
like an
Magna Guards
E11,
did.
and the front, but that's our Hondo, right? Any more to add to Hondo, John Doe?
I do not. I did not. I forgot to do my research this week, so I'll have to do better next week.
I thought there'd be more. Like but it seems like Hondo's relatively concise. You know what I mean?
Well, there's lots there. It's just it's a kind of repetitive.
Yeah,
He gets involved in some shady stuff, and then he does something that benefits one of our people that we like, and then he does some shady stuff and does some things that benefit the people that we like.
Well, you also got to throw in there. He does some shady stuff. He does something that benefits the guys we like. He gets himself into trouble, and then he wiggles his way out of it.
Yeah.
Well, he seems like he's that guy who's always like almost ahead of the game. Like I think when we saw him in Clone Wars when he captured those, he had peaked. Like that was the peak of his power and the peak of his wealth. And then I think he was just always chasing that wealth after that.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think he may have peaked a little bit later than that because at one point, Darth Maul wanted to get involved with him. Wanted to bring him into the.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Was it the Crimson Sun or whatever?
Something like that.
Into his little crime syndicate.
Yeah.
Back when Savage Opress was still alive.
Savage. That always makes me remind that new thing they have that cleans out your nose. You see commercials for it. It's something like I don't know. It's called Novage. Every time I hear that, I think of Savage. It's on stupid commercials on. I don't know where but it's called like Navage or something. And it says like something about cleaning out your nose. And I just always picture Savage punching you in the face and cleaning out your nose.
I thought you were talking about a neti pot, honestly.
Oh, it's similar to a neti pot, but less chance of getting a parasite to eat your brain.
Which
There
is
is
always
always
a
that.
plus.
Yeah, I try to keep things out of my nose that are going to turn into a parasite and eat my brain.
That's a good.
It's
That's a
not
good.
like being in a
move.
fetal
It's a good way to live life, right?
Huh?
It's a good way to live life.
Well, it's I always think of like at someone's funeral. You hear all these terrible things that happen, but I never want to be that guy. Like, oh, he died because he used a neti pot. He used the wrong water in a neti pot. Because he had a cold. So I don't want to be that.
So how do we pick our topic for next week?
Well, let's see. I don't think there's anything new coming out. We don't have any surprise.
Well, you guys still haven't watched Young Jedi Adventures yet, and we haven't talked about that.
It's true.
Well, we could do a Young Jedi's Adventure, and we can do another topic pick. Now I'll give you 4 numbers. We're not going to pick the same number. So here's your numbers: 9, 28, 3, or 71.
Ken, I picked the first number last week.
I'll pick 71.
Okay, John, give me a number from 1 to 71.
Let's see. Let's do 32.
32. I knew John was going for the middle.
Yeah, Jim Brown passed away earlier this month, so I feel like it's only right.
I have no clue what that is. That his number in football?
Yep. And Jim Brown is
Okay.
number 32.
So our major topic was walkers and ground vehicles of the Empire and First Order.
I like walkers.
32.
Texas Ranger.
Here's the heading: Imperial Walker Tactics. So there's the Imperial Mindset and the Imperial Beast, but here's the pictures. We can go, so we have a choice. We have AT-ATs or AT-ATs, depending on your thing. And then we have, and this is what's the one from Rogue One?
Oh, the AT-ACT.
AT,
I thought it was the AT-AAT.
I don't know.
No, the AAT is the that's Clone Wars.
Oh,
Well, good. So we can do AT-ATs and that one from Rogue One that we can't remember what its name is. That's our
the
topic.
cargo one, right?
Yeah,
The one with the big,
yeah, it's an AT-ACT.
whatever that one is.
Okay.
All right. That's our topic.
Well, there aren't any costume CRLs for that one.
So we have AT-ATs, we have costumes, we have, we know a Jedi can cut their legs off, all that kind of stuff.
It's true.
We know that we got all kinds of AT-ATs. So we'll do a all AT-AT or ATST. We have John with the toy expertise.
That is my expertise.
We got costumes. We got Ken will probably talk about the behind the scenes and the animation of them. And
Yeah, stop motion and go motion.
we'll look up some 3D print file info. So how big would one be if you wanted it for your 6-inch figure or your 3 3/4 figure? How big would you have to make it? So
Oh, that would be cool. I never thought of that.
I have a file rendered for it. It's pretty large actually, but I'll never print it.
The 1/12 scale, the 6-inch scale.
No, I did it for 3. I think 3 3/4. Because if I remember correctly, the highest point of the back would be 6 foot tall.
For 3 3/4.
Yes.
That doesn't sound right.
Let's save this for next week. Let's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
get too deep into it.
I'll do some math. I'll do some gazintas and do my math. And
Maybe that does make sense.
because see, it's just like the Falcon. The Falcon's cockpit is always off scale when people try to paint it and all of this stuff because they go by the old Kenner. And I think the AT-ATs, they always go off scale because the toy AT-AT is so tiny compared. If you watch the movie and you see, remember that foot crushed an entire snow speeder. So think about the snow speeders are kind of underscaled as a toy, for the 3 3/4.
That's a good
And then
point.
imagine how big the foot would have to be,
Right.
That's a good point.
So anyhow, let's do our ending. Look, we're gonna be under again. Let me get our
Get out that hook.
and we're just gonna see if this actually works. If not, we'll just go back to be talking, rambling on forever. Okay.
I used to put my faith in starships, but then my Falcon's hyperdrive just slipped. I used to worry about the future, but then I threw my caution to the wind. I had no reason to be carefree. No, no, no. Until I took a trip to the treetop side of town. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, I heard that wicked rhythm. Hey, I had no choice but to